Hi everybody, I'm here. I think I'm right on time. I thought it was maybe a minute early, but I think I'm right on time. I'm so glad that you're going to be joining me tonight. It was a beautiful day here in Brandon, Florida. I think the temperatures were like mid 70s. It was just gorgeous. I got to spend a little time out in the yard today tinkering with some flowers. A lot of you know that my husband, who we call Bob the Builder, had rotator cuff surgery on Tuesday, so just 4 days ago, and he's doing amazingly well. I've had a lot of you reach out to me through my blog and emails asking how he is, so thank you for that. He's doing great. He's just doing great. Off all the pain medicines, and he's doing wonderfully. So thanks for all those good thoughts and prayers. I am looking forward to sharing some really cool stuff with you tonight. Not only do I have a project I'm going to demonstrate, but I've got an alternative to the project I'm going to show you that is really going to put a twist on some of your projects at home. I'm going to be using glimmer paper for that alternative. Now, I notice I'm on Facebook Live, but it says there's 4 people with me, but I don't know who you are. I went live last week for another training, and I had a similar problem. I don't know. I've been told that Facebook is getting ready to roll out some new releases and some updates. And oh, hi Gail, now I can see somebody, yay. If you guys say hi to me or you hit the like or the heart button, then I know that you can hear me, and that really helps. It's a lot more fun when we can interact with each other. So I'm really glad that you're here. Hi Susan. If you're joining me for the first time, would you let me know? I am sure glad that you're here. And if you're coming back, welcome back. I'm thrilled. I'm just thrilled. Now I just want to go over a few housekeeping items with you, especially for those of you that are new. I have been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 17 and a half years, although I've only been doing Facebook Live now for, maybe, I think it's 6 or 7 months, but I really enjoy it because I'm really here right in my house and you're right at home. So we are working together. Hi, Loretta. I got your card today, Loretta. It was awesome. Thank you. Mwah. I sent you an email. And Marion, Susan, your second time. Hi, Marion and Rod. Glad you're here. All right. You know, Facebook Live is technology, and we can lose each other, so don't panic. Hi, Jan. If I should lose you, come back on. If I lose you, I'll come back too. So we just have to keep refreshing our screens. Hi, Melody. It's good to see you too. Hi, Kathy. I'm glad you're here. All right. Also too, it's so much more fun when you interact with me. When I tip the phone down to my stamp table, it's literally at eye height. So I will peek up every once in a while to see your comments, but it's I won't be able to see them all as I stamp, so just be patient with me. Hi, Christine, first time. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome, welcome. I hope that you'll enjoy yourself. I know I've got some fun stuff I want to show tonight. All right, let's talk about Brooke, you're here. Said something went wrong, you're having trouble playing the video. Brooke, it could be that maybe it's your browser. I've had people tell me on Facebook Live that the best browser is Chrome. So if you're using Google Chrome, you should have no trouble. You might want to come out and come back. Sometimes the phone is harder to use than your PC. If anybody can give Brooke some advice, I know that she would appreciate that. You know, I'm on the other end, so sometimes I just don't know. Hi, Christine, you're from Minnesota. Ooh, it's nice and warm here. I bet you're cold. And Cindy, hi, good to see you guys. I'm so glad you're here, Washington. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, let's get on with it. I am going to be showing you a project tonight using this bundle. I have to reach, so bear with me. I'm using the Dragonfly Dreams stamp set and the coordinating framelits. Now this comes as a bundle, and if you don't know, if you buy the bundle, which means you'll get both, you actually save 10%, so it's just a great deal. But I want to show you something from this because this is also my studio stamps in the mail for February. And I'm going to show you the projects. Oh, I think I left them behind me, but I've got projects, bear with me. And in addition to that, some alternatives. The great thing about studio stamps in the mail when you join me is that everything is pre-cut and ready for you to make 8 cards. It's 2 each of 4 different designs. You'll get the bundle, and this month, guess what? I'm trying to find them. I'm throwing in a package of dimensionals as well. You know why? Because I want this to reach $50 so that you can choose a free celebration stamp set or the metallic ribbon bundle. Now I send it priority mail right to your home, so it's going to come fast. The problem is I can't fit in the 12 by 12 paper that's in celebration or the tin. I know, I'm sorry. So, but you can get any stamp set you want, or you can get the ribbon. So that's Studio Stamps in the mail for February. Here's the other thing. The deadline is Monday. So if you are interested in ordering Studio Stamps in the mail, please make sure that you get your orders in on my blog before Monday night. Now, how do you get there? There should be a blue button at the top of this page, and it says, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking for my thing, Learn More. You know, every once in a while I change the button name, so bear with me. So it should say Learn More. If you click on that, it navigates you right to my blog, and then you can click on Online Classes, where you'll find all the information that you need. Tammy's here. Wow, there's a bunch of you. You're on your phone. Hi, Becky. Okay, I'm glad you're here. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about Studio Stamps in the mail. I'm going to show you this as we flip down, because I think you'll get a better view out of it. But everybody gets a video, so I stamped right along with you, and you're going to get a very lengthy PDF tutorial. This one coming up is 9 pages long. And just to give you an idea, you get all the written step-by-step instructions as well as pictures. So I know it's going to be great. I don't know about you, but these are like great when you want to refer back to them well after you've used your bundle for the first time. And I don't know about you too, a video is great because you can stop it and start it as often as you need to while you're stamping with me. And again, all the work is pre-done for you, so I would love to have you join us this month for that. All right, what do you say we get started? I think we should get started. All right, I am going to flip you down to the stamp table. I'm going to adjust the zoom a little bit so that you can see a little bit closer. All right, so bear with me, and you're going to get an ugly view until I get you there, so I'm sorry. Okay, now you're pointing down. Oh, I'm so glad I got hearts. Thank you, guys. It makes me feel good. At least now I know you can see me. This should be good, right? Okay. All right. I got a little bit of room that I work in, and I have a lot of stuff on my desk, so bear with me. We talked about the tutorial. Just to give you an idea, these are going to be the Studio Stamps in the mail. If you head over to my blog, which is the Learn More button here on Facebook, it'll navigate you to my blog. Click on Online Classes, and you'll get to see a video with all the cards. So you can actually get a full view of all the cards. There are 4 different ones. All right, so let's get stamping. What do you guys say? All right, let me get my stuff ready here. Get out my little supplies. I'm so glad you guys joined me today. I hope you all had a really great Saturday. We're going to start off with doing some stamping and some die cutting. I'm reaching for my paper. Okay, there we go. We've got some paper. And I'm going to grab my Memento ink pad. I love this for photopolymer. Big, big fan. The one thing about this bundle that I have noticed, there's been a lot of great samples with it on Pinterest. But you know what? I haven't noticed too many with this guy. Have you? So I have had a ball with this. I've got a fun card with this tonight, and I'm going to teach you a template format as well. So we're going to use the Bumblebee. So I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to get out my Memento ink, and I'm going to take my detailed Bumblebee. I know you're probably having a hard time seeing him. Bear with me. I'm going to ink him up, and on scratch Whisper White cardstock. So this is just scratch paper. It doesn't have to be a big piece. I am going to stamp 1, 2, and 3. You guys with me? I like it when I see hearts and thumbs up, because then I know you can hear me okay and you can see okay. All right, so there we go. So we've got our 3 bumblebees. Right off the camera here, I have my Stampin' Scrub. This is kind of like glorified doing the dishes. I'm just going to step that aside so I don't end up wearing it. Boy, I'll tell you what. You know that old adage that says you should never trust a bookkeeper who can't balance her checkbook? I always have ink. Look, I mean, I just started, for crying out loud, right? So this is like doing the dishes. This is going to get the icky ink off, so it's damp with Stampin' Mist, and this is dry. So that's going to keep my stamp nice and clean. I'm going to set those aside for just a second, and I'm going to go over to the cardstock that I have for the base of my card. I'm going to put the cutting dimensions right here on this Facebook page. Look it. Do you guys see that? I told you I had ink in my hands. That's all right. I'm going to flip it over. If my mom is watching tonight, I think my cousin is. Gail, you're watching. Yay. Guess what? If they're bothered by this, I'll send this card to you. How's that sound, Gail? Does that work? Okay. All right, so here's the base of our card. I'm going to put a greeting down here, but what I want to do is I want to use the corner rounder on today's project. A lot of people tell me they have a love-hate relationship with this product. So I am going to use it like this, upside down. So let me give you some tips about this. You put the corner in here, and I'm going to move you a little bit closer. Do you see how you see just a point? That's all you want. You want to make sure that you see just a point and then snip. Really important, tap and get that little piece out because that's going to prohibit you from punching and getting a good vision on all the corners. So here we go again. And then of course we've got to do the back half of the card. So I'm going to stick that in and I'm going to punch. All right, and let's do one more corner. So we've got all 4 corners of our card. All right, I'm going to put all that mess to the side. All right, so now we have rounded corners on our card. There we go. So we've got the base done. Let's go ahead now and let's stamp our sentiment. This is from the exact same stamp set. This is the one great thing about this bundle is that the words are just amazing with the images as well. So I'm going to use that same Memento ink and I'm going to ink it up. So you're going to see I'm tapping firmly. You can see also that the stamp is almost the same size as the ink pad. I'm going to put that aside. Down here in the lower corner is where I'm going to attempt this. And I say attempt because if you've watched me before, you know that I am a good 12 to 18 inches. I should really measure from the actual place where I'm stamping. I'm standing way back here. Okay, so there's my words. Hey, I did pretty good. Yay, A+. All right, so now we've got our greeting. And this one says, you sure know how to make someone happy. All right, so we're going to take care of that. I'm going to put that on the side. Remember these 3 guys? This is where the beauty of the bundle comes in. Here are the framelits. No fussy cutting required. Now, if you're watching me for the first time, I want to talk to you a little bit about this. I actually put mine on a piece of magnetic sheet. I have a YouTube channel. There are hundreds of videos there. I mean hundreds. Everything from projects to tips. If you type in storage for framelits, this will come right up and it'll show you how I've done this. I then take a metallic Sharpie marker and I outline the dies so that when I take one off, if I'm stamping with friends and I know I'm missing something, it's very evident. Okay, so I'm going to take the bumblebee and I'm going to set that aside. And now I'm going to bring in my Big Shot because we're going to die cut these. So let me just move that out of the way, make myself a little bit of room here. And let me just get this. I'm going to move you guys in a little bit so that you can see. There we go. There we go. Now you got a better view, I think. All right. This is stuck, as you can tell. This is the magnetic platform. I absolutely love this when you're using framelits because that magnetic force underneath here is going to help hold your framelits in place. I highly recommend this product. It's a one-time buy and you're going to be good to go. All right, I also absolutely love this. This is the precision base plate. Do you see how this die is really detailed? That's because we got a lot of intricate cuts in here and you can see that it's small. Look how tiny it is. I mean, this is my index finger. You're going to need some help getting those out. So the precision base plate, because it's steel, is actually going to help get those images die cut. So here we go. We've got one of our bumblebees. And then we have the framelit. Now I want to give you a tip right here. This is something I love to do. I love to be able to give you tips along the way. I'm going to pull one of these off of my little booklet here. Do you know what this is? This is one of those post-it note flags, or a post-it note will work. Let's say you're always fussing with this and you're afraid it's going to move. Take one of these little post-it note flags and tack it down. That's going to help hold it in place so that when you put the clear cutting mat over the top, you're going to be good to go. All right, so now we're just going to give this a little push, and it's a crank, so you don't have to worry about power. So we're just going to crank that right through. All right, then out comes the die from the other side. All right, there we go. I'm trying to stay within your view, so bear with me. And I'm going to bring my grid paper back in. I think that gives you a little bit better view. All right, so here we go. And now I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. Hi, Faith. I'm glad that you're here. Yay. All right, so here we have it. I always check the back side. I want to make sure that this is die cut well, because if it's not, I can put it right back down on here and run it through again. But it is. You can see how it's cut. So I'm just going to take off my little post-it flag. Don't worry if it's stuck on there. That's not a big deal. But you see how the paper's embedded? All right, so here is my next best friend. And it is the Big Shot die brush. Those of you that subscribe to Paper Pumpkin, you can use your Paper Pumpkin box. This just happens to be a leftover shipping box from something I received. I'm going to lay this in here on the foam mat, and I'm going to use the real stiff brush, and I'm just going to go over the die. What it's going to do is it's going to release some of the tiny pieces, all right? But remember how intricate this is? See how those all popped out? I keep a push pin here on my mat because I don't know why it is. I can never find my piercing tool when I need it, right? All right, hi Grace. So I am gonna start by just giving this a little gentle push because I wanna get out those antennas, because look at, you see how tiny they are? You don't wanna rip them. So all you can do is just push with this. I'm using a push pin, or you can use your paper piercing tool. That's gonna help release the paper from the die. But I'm also gonna give you another tip. If you've watched any of my tip videos before, you know that I'm a huge fan. I wish I kind of would have used this so I could have showed you of this. Where is it? Oh, it is parchment paper. Do you know that if you place this between the die and the cardstock, it's going to help release it? It sure is. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to poke this out. You don't want to pull. Ask me how I know that. Because what has happened is when I've pulled is I've actually ripped part of the wing or part of the antenna. So just take a couple minutes and just do a little poking. All right, so here we go. All right, we're going to hope for the best here. Because, you know, I'm always nervous when I'm with you guys because it's so exciting. It is. So I don't want to get too anxious and pull him out too much. All right, so there we go. The parchment paper is going to cut down on this, and you are going to love me for that tip. I do have a video on it. It's a quick crafting tip on helping to release your intricate dies. All right, so we're going to pull him out. Look, there he goes. We've got our bumblebee. All right, isn't he cute? Look at that. All right, the good news is I did the other ones that I needed ahead of time, so you don't have to watch me do all three. So now we've got one here. I'm going to put the die aside so we don't lose that. Let me grab a few other my supplies. Here is my card, and I've got some bees already cut out for you. Let me grab those. So we have a total of 3 for this card. All right, so 1, 2, and 3. All right, so far so good. Now here comes the template part. This is the part I'm really excited about. I want to teach you something really different, all right? And I'm going to start with a piece of cardstock. This is Whisper White, and it measures 2 inches by 5.5 inch. If you decide to make this a little shorter, keep in mind you're going to have to compensate what I'm doing, and I'll show you in just a minute. Now, normally I would like to use a pencil, but I know you can't see that on the video because my family and friends who watch along with us say you cannot see the pencil. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move my scrub because I want to be able to move my grid paper up so that you can see. All right, here at the bottom of the grid paper there is a ruler on both sides. All we're going to do is we are going to find the center. Now 5.5, the center would be 2 3/4. So with my pen, I'm going to make a little notch at 2 3/4, and the grid lines go all the way up on this paper, which makes this so easy for you. And another notch at 2 3/4. What that has just done for us is it's found the center, and that's what we need. All right, we're going to use the 1 1/2 inch circle punch. That makes things really easy. Now, the very first time I created this template, I just went for it. I'm not going to lie to you. I just kind of went for it and punched. But I know a lot of you are really particular, so I thought, you know what? I better show you 2 different ways because I don't want you to be mad at me. So here's a way if you're really particular. You're going to punch out that same circle from a piece of scratch paper, and you're going to lay it here. And you're just going to visually look that half of the circle is lined up with those marks. You guys with me so far? If you hear me okay and you're following me, just send me some likes. I am now going, I think I'll just stick with the pen so you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this down, and I am going to trace it. Now this is not going to be pretty because I'm using a pen. So I'm just going to go around a couple of these. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my punch to mimic those lines. You with me? Yeah. And I'm punching a circle. We want 2 more. We want this on 3 panels. So we are going to do the same thing here and here. So what we're going to do again is we're going to use that circle as a template. Listen, it doesn't have to be perfect, so don't get crazy on yourself. And you don't even have to trace the whole thing. You just need a perimeter so that you know where the punch is going to go. So you see how one's going to go here, and then here's the next one. That one's going to go here. So I'm looking just to kind of line it up. It looks pretty much the same, and the same thing. So I'm going to trace. Whoops, my finger slipped. Here and here. It's definitely a lot easier with a pencil. I'll tell you that much. All right. So Do you see how we've got our marks here? All right, here comes the punch again, upside down so you can see where you're going. And you're going to punch, and then we're going to flip, and we're going to do this side as well. So you know what we're ending up with, right? Now we have 3 circles, an opening for this layer on the card. Hi, Becky. You finally got on. Oh, I'm glad you're here. Hi, Loretta. Okay, so now we've got our template. We've got our layer. This is what I recommend highly. Make one and keep it, because I'm going to show you why that's going to come in really handy when I show you some other samples. So here we go. So I actually made it again. I will leave the cutting dimensions for this on this Facebook page with the pictures when we're done tonight so that you can mimic this. But I'm saving this because it comes in really handy just to be able to trace it again and whip out this exact same layout with different images. All right, so I'm going to set that aside as well. All right, now we're going to move over to a panel for this card, and that is a piece of designer series paper. Now keep in mind I'm using bumblebees, so I want to make sure that I have paper that's going to coordinate. This is actually from the Moroccan designer series paper. Now you know all the papers with Stampin' Up! Are double-sided, which is really fun. This is going to fit by here, behind here. This is 1 7/8, so we're just a little short of that 2 inches, and we only need to compensate for the holes, so I cut it 5 inches long. We are going to adhere this with dimensionals. I know you're probably thinking, for real? Yeah, for real, because here comes another tip. Here are my dimensionals. You're going to find here and here that a full dimensional is going to be really, really a tight fit. And I don't know if you're like me, but you often have to like maneuver them to get them to fit. So take your scissors and take the dimensionals and cut them in half. These little small pieces are amazing to work with. And here's the other reason. One end, perfectly flat. So guess what? I can be really picky about where I want to put them, and I'll show you what I mean in a second. So we're going to put some dimensionals in between our circles here, and then we're going to take a couple more because we want the designer paper to stick. I'm going to put, look at, here's where your straight edge comes in really handy. Isn't that awesome? And then another one here. I'm going to put those here. These are a lot stickier than they look. And hey, you know what? I'm going to tell you what. I use lots and lots of halves. The reason is not only that, helps save you a little bit of money because heavens knows we want to spend it on stamps, right? And ink and all that other fun stuff. So I'm using up my halves. I'm going to put one more over here on this side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take off the paper backing. And if you're like me and you have really short fingernails and you have a hard time getting this off, all you have to do is press your fingernail right here and lift. And again, and lift. And then we can just be able to take off all that paper because this is where the designer series paper panel is going to go. Do you have any idea why I might be doing that? You're probably thinking, I don't get what she's doing, where she's going with this. I know, bear with me. All right, here's the designer paper, right? Here's my 3-windowed panel. All you're gonna do is line it up the best you can and then lightly press. But do you see what's happened here? Look, do you see how we've got like a 3D look? There's room here between these two. I'm trying to give this some character. I wanted to create some dimension. Now you can corner around these if you'd like, or you can leave them straight. It's completely up to you. So let me show you. I'm gonna set my little bumblebees aside over here at the top. I've got a fun thing to show you with those in just a second. And then remember the base of our card where we stamped our words? Your panel then is gonna go here because it comes end to end. Again, you can corner around those if you want, but I don't want to. I love dimensionals. I call these my cheap thrills. So I like to use a lot of them because they're inexpensive too. So here we go. Now you can use your full ones and we are going to add dimensionals to the back side so we can create some more layer to this card. We want to make sure that this is going to be the star of our show next to our little bumblebees. We want to create that dimension. All right, here comes your paper backing. Remember, fingernail in there, that'll help lift your edges. Again, I've got short fingernails. All right, now if you have the stamp set or the bundle already and you're interested in studio stamps in the mail, I've got news for you. You can buy just the tutorial. You can. It's inexpensive, all 9 pages, or you can substitute the product so that you can still get all the pre-cut supplies to make the cards. All right, so this is going to go here. You can put it as high or as low as you'd like, so I'm going to tack that down. All right, so look at the fun dimension we've got here now going on our card. Remember, there's like an opening here. I'm going to slide that aside, and then here come my 3 bumblebees. Now, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit because I want you to be able to see this a little bit closer. All right, there we go. Hi, everyone. Oh, so many of you are here. I'm so excited. All right, first things first. This is Gold Wink of Stella. I don't know what it is, but you guys are not buying this stuff. And I think that you're making a big mistake. Did you know it's a perfect match to delightful Dijon ink and paper and ribbon and all that good stuff? It is. And it makes a perfect shimmery color to our bumblebee. And I'm going to hold this up and show you what I mean. Look at this. Do you see how it's very filigreed? It's really pretty. But do you see how there's no color here? I mean, let's face it. Our bee should have some yellow tones, right? So we're going to give it some yellow tones on those areas. So I'm going to hold it here by the wing. And I always test my wing to make sure it's going. I'm going to add a little bit of that color here, a little bit of that color here, and a little bit here. Do you see the little polka dots right here? If you want to, you can cover those. So we'll just cover them just for fun. All right. I wish that you were here because the shimmer is fabulous. And I know that doesn't pick it up on the camera. I don't know why that is. I wish it did, but it doesn't. Now, if it looks wet, don't let that bother you. There's an alcohol base to Wink of Stella, and it will evaporate in just a few minutes. So don't let that worry you. And then we're going to do our 3rd bumblebee here. You guys know where I'm going with this now, right? Oh, so shimmery, so pretty. All right, so we're going to cap that. If you don't know, your Wink of Stella should always be stored vertically in a container. It should never be stored sideways. This is the clear. You know what we're going to do with this? I'm testing it. We're going to go over those wings, and we are going to create the most beautiful, iridescent, shimmery look to those wings. Again, I really wish you were here to see these. I'm going to try to hold one up on a dark background. Whoops, he wants to fly. So that you can actually get a good look at these. It dries very, very quickly, very quickly. All right, I'm going to do this one last set here. All right, so now we've got our Wink of Stella. Again, store it vertically. Let me bring in my silicone mat because this is a little bit darker background. Look. Can you see the shimmer? I was a little messy with this one, but do you see it? Oh, I hope you can. Oh, it's amazing, amazing. All right, so let's finish this up. This looks harder than it is, but it really isn't. We're going to flip our bumblebees over. So those are all here on my work surface now, upside down. We're going to go back to those halves. You know why? Because look, I'm going to hold this up so you can see it. Look at how awesome this is going to fit. Yes, it is. No hanging over anywhere. You don't even have to worry about seeing it. All right, I'm going to bring you back out just a little bit more because I want to make sure you can see the whole card. All right, so we're going to get 2 more of these, one for each of my other bees. And I'm going to turn my dimensional. Again, that flat side of your dimensional is like your best friend. It's going to allow you to put the pointy part exactly where you need it without having it hang over into the open areas of your die or your project. All right, so I'm pressing and I'm taking off the paper backing here. And on this one and on this one. And then I'm going to pick those up with my fingers. And then guess what? This is where we're going to have some fun. Are you ready? All right, let's put this little guy here. Let's take this guy and let's put him here. And let's take this last one and let's stick him here. Ta-da! Look at that. Simple, simple. Do you guys like it? Send me some hearts or thumbs up if you do. I would love some feedback. But that dimension is so much fun, and I sure wish you could see the shimmer. Gosh, it's just amazing. All right, so I have some other cards to show you with the same exact idea. Check out this one. I made these earlier today. Here's another one, but you know what? Look at this one is in the landscape, and this one is in the portrait. The great thing about this template, once you have it made and you save it, just trace, cut. This one I use that brand new dynamic hexagon embossing folder for that fun honeycomb look. Isn't that fun? Oh good, you guys like it, yay. I added some metallic enamel shapes. Do you see this word enjoy? Let me show you where I got that from. The stamp set, remember I told you it has words? Look at, this says enjoy your special day. All I did was I took my black marker and I markered in just the word enjoy and I stamped it right there because I didn't need the whole thing and I didn't think it was going to fit. obviously was not going to fit. So you can do landscape or portrait. That's going to give you a really fun layout for your card. But I have one more, and this is the thing I'm really excited to share with you tonight. So let me grab that one really quick from my paper folder. And I had a little piece of paper. Yep, I do. Let me find it out of here. Oh, if you could see my desk, you would be just laughing hysterically. All right, check this out. If you guys like shimmer, you're going to like this. Isn't this pretty? Oh, thanks, Patty. I'm so glad you like it. Hi, Suzanne. Welcome. First time. We're so glad you're here. All right, so I'm going to show you how I did this, but do you see how my dragonflies have more than one tone of color to them? This is that Succulent Designer Series paper that's in the Occasions catalog. Believe it or not, this is Tip Top Taupe ink. I decided I needed a lighter shade without overpowering the card. I didn't want to use black or gray. You want me to show you how I did this? All right. I'm just going to give you the tip on how to color it. Here is just a small circle of glimmer paper, and I'm going to zoom you in a little closer that you can see better. All right, I always try to find the center of the screen, so bear with me. I think we're there, right? For this, I used mint macaroon, macaron, what do you guys say? Macaron, and then sweet sugar plum. I wanted to create an iridescent look, and the reason I did that is I wanted it to blend, but I didn't want it to be too green or too plum looking. I think you know what I mean, all right? So here's what I did. I started with the mint. If you flip the ink pad over and you squeeze, guess what happens when you open it? You get a pool of ink inside the lid. All right, let me reach over for my aqua painter. This is a glorified paintbrush, you guys. I absolutely love this. You unscrew it, you're going to put tap water inside, and then screw it back on. But you know what this does? This totally eliminates your need to dip in water and then have drip trails all over the place. Absolutely love these. You get 2 in a pack. I like to squeeze the tip before I start because I want to make sure it's not oversaturated and I have a mess. So I die cut those little dragonflies. Let me show you where those are. That's also part of this bundle. Do you see them cascading here? So I die cut them in a strip. So I use this one and then I die cut it again for my third. Let me show you here. And then look, I just cut them apart. I mean, we're talking easy stuff. But this is how I colored it. I am going to pick up ink from here, okay? And I'm going to rub it on the glimmer paper. And you're probably thinking, ew, yuck. Nope. The glimmer paper is actually very absorbent. So the ink is going to start to seep into it and it's going to become lighter. And there was really no rhyme or reason. What I don't want you to do is scribble too much because you know glimmer paper is kind of rough and you want to protect those bristles. So I actually just stroked it on. I know it looks like I'm going fast, but I'm just brushing it on really, really fast. I'm going to keep a spot here for my finger. All right. And then I just gave it a couple seconds to dry. And then I closed this up and I did the same thing with the next color. So I squeezed it and I opened it. But I'm going to give you another tip. You got to clean this. Do you see how this is green? So let me reach over here because now it's out of my reach, of course. Here's my Stampin' Scrub. This is my wet side. I color it green with nail polish, so me and my friends always know. Give that a squeeze. Water's running through the bristles. So now I know that it's cleaned off and I've got all that green gone. If you're not sure, rub it on here. See? I'm going to squeeze again because I want to make sure it's not oversaturated, okay? Coming back in with that same color, and now I'm going to kind of just go back over it, all right? And I'm just going to fill it in. Now, I know you think it looks kind of muddy, but I've got news for you. When this dries, absolutely stunning. It only takes maybe a minute for it to dry. Oh, I wish you were here because it's just absolutely gorgeous in person. One thing about glimmer, it just doesn't show up really well on the camera. And again, here are those dragonflies. Can you see them? Look how pretty. So pretty. All right, so let me zoom you out just a little bit more so that you can see a little bit better. Okay, so here we are. You can see my messy desk now. So here's the project that I just showed you with the alternative. Here is, okay, what did I do with it? Here's the one. Here's the other two I just made. The one we did together, and then the one that goes obviously in the portrait mode. Okay, pretty stuff, huh? Isn't this template fun? Once you make it, you are done. You never have to make it again. Save it. It's going to be a great thing for you for other layouts. Just think of the things you have in your artillery. And your artillery. Why is that such a hard word? Flowers. How about other bugs? How about other little graphics? I mean, you could put balloons, anything in here. This is such a great layout. All right, so I want to do this. I want to flip you back around so I can look at you. So here. All right, I'm here. What'd you guys think? Did you like that? Now I can actually see you better. I can see your comments. Faye says, love this idea with the glimmer paper. You know what? It's so much fun. We have the spritzers, and you can put re-inkers in there, but sometimes you just need a small little bit, and you don't want to waste the re-inker and fill a spritzer. The aqua painter is awesome for this. Yay, you guys like it. Yay, I'm so glad. Which one's your favorite? Do you like the bee or do you like the dragonfly? I'm telling you what, I really like them both because they're so different. You love the layout. Isn't it fun? Once I've showed you how to make the template, you're going to save it. Just save it and use it over and over and over again. It is not hard, I promise. All right, now let me tell you a couple things about this bundle. You're going to want the studio stamps in the mail. I am embarrassed to say that it's behind me. I want to show you the cards. I have a video over on my blog. I don't know why I didn't bring them out. I think I'm too busy taking care of Bob the Builder. I was a little distracted. Let's use my wonderful husband for an excuse. How does that work? The good news is you can see the actual cards in a really short video. I think it's 3 minutes over on my blog. Click the Learn More button. If you want to subscribe to Studio Stamps in the mail, you will get 8 cards to each of the 4 designs I showed there, over and above this. I mean, this was just something else I can share with you for you to enjoy with that same bundle. You're going to get the stamp set I just showed you. You're going to get the framelits I just showed you and a package of dimensionals, and you're ready. It gets better. You're going to be able to choose any celebration stamp set or the metallic ribbon combo for free, because the product is $50, so you're going to be able to take advantage of that sale. So all you have to do is go over there. There's buttons and graphics for you to click on. I made it super easy for you. Couple things too. If you subscribe to Studio Stamps in the mail, you're going to join me for my very popular and fun Live with Lisa event. That's coming up on Saturday, February 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a close group for those of you that have purchased Studio Stamps in the mail. It's just my way of saying thank you. So if you think this is good, this is 10 times better. I do 2 live demonstrations and you get a total of 8 PDF tutorials that's coming up in February. And you ready? How about free product? So I give away prize patrol. So everybody who's in there, I put your names in a tin and I just give away product. You can also join Live with Lisa simply with a $25 product order over on my blog. There is a host code there. If you can use it, that just makes life a whole lot easier. But I really hope you guys like this. I really hope that you did. I know I loved sharing it with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys then again, and I hope you have a great day. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Let me post the pictures for you and the measurements so that you can enjoy making your own cards and templates. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being here.